Hey guys, today it's Mike from LFR, and in this video I'm going to be showing you some of the 5.4 patch changes to Mages. Hope you enjoy the video, guys. Okay, the next thing I'm going to be talking to you guys about is a change to Mastery Frostburn that they've made. If we look in the spell book, they've actually completely replaced it with Mastery Icicles, which basically procs when you cast Frostball or Frost Fireball, 41% chance. And basically 41% of the damage that you cast on the enemy is stored in an icicle for up to 30 seconds. Now there can be up to 5 icicles, and they are released when you cast Ice Lance, as you can see right here. There we go. And they are being fired off at the targets. And now I think this is a really cool change to Mastery Frostburn, as it is a big DPS increase, especially if you're one of the Frost Mage users. The next biggest change they've made is to Frostballs. Now, actually, Frostball is a kind of a nerf to Frostball base damage, but you'll see why in a second. If we look at a Frostball, it actually does slightly less damage than it used to, if I can just find Frostball. In fact, it does 10% less damage than it used to. However, there used to be a proc, or there used to be, on every Frostball, it would give the target a debuff, which would increase damage by Frostball and other Frost spells by 5%, stacking up to 3 times. That debuff has gone, and every single ability now has 15% more damage that would have been affected by that debuff, including Frostball. So technically Frostball now does 5% more damage, which I think is really cool, and it's a nice buff for mages. The next big change to mages is the Water Elemental. Now, the Water Elemental has been buffed slightly, so the water ball damage of a Water Elemental has been increased by 25%. Now, this might not seem like a big change, but it is in fact a very big change as for PvE, as the mage will often be relying on his Frostmelon or his or her Water Elemental to be doing quite a lot of damage, and now that Water Elemental's water ball damage has been increased by 25%, that is a nice little change for Frost Mages in particular. Okay, in this clip I'm going to be covering changes to Frost Mages and all Mages talents. And first I'm going to be covering the changes to bombs in this patch. Now, every single bomb has been changed slightly, but all of them have had a slight damage buff, so mainly in PvP. So, Frostbomb, let's begin with. Frostbomb now does 10% more damage than it used to players. So it used to have a up from 5.4. It has 6% in 5.3. It has 60% damage increase to players, but now it has 70% damage increase to players, which is very nice PvP, especially if you're going to be speccing into Frostbomb, which I advise you do. Living Bomb also has it now deals 85% more damage to players, which is up from 70%, and the same can be said about Nether Tempest. Now, I really like these changes because it means that bombs are now going to be a very viable option, up from a quite viable option in PvP. And yeah, now I'm going to definitely be using bombs more in my global cooldowns. And the next change I've made to talents is the Rune of Power has an increased effective range. Rather than it just being for a 3-yard range, it is now a 5-yard range, which is really nice. And also Temporal Shield, when you're using it, also has a 15% damage reduction buff, which is very nice, so I might spec into that rather than Ice Barrier. So that's been the changes to talents in this patch. I hope you enjoyed, so yeah. In the last part of this video, I'm going to be discussing what talents you should be choosing as a Frost Mage in patch 5.4. Now, for the most part it's the same, but there are some small changes you should make your talents before even attempting to do PvP or PvE in this patch. So, there are no changes to the tier 15 or the tier 1 talents. However, in the tier 2 talents, you should be using Temporal Shield rather than Ice Barrier in this patch, due to the new changes to the damage reducing buff. And you should also keep Ring of Frost in your tier 3 talent due to the stun. Now, for your tier 4 talent, especially if you're trying to do arenas or like any kind of PvP, you should spec into Greater Invisibility due to the fact that it is a very good damage mitigation spell, and can also be a massive advantage at the beginning of an arena fight or in Warsong Gulch. Now, for the most part, I'm going to be choosing Frostbomb as my tier 5 talent due to the fact that it's still a massive damage ability, and with the 10% buff, it's still a very decent ability you should be choosing for your tier 5 talent. And finally, for your tier 6 talent, you should be choosing Invocation due to the reduction of Evocation's cooldown, and also the 15% increased spell damage after you've used it. So that was my video of 5.4 patch changes to Frost Mages. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. So yeah, those are your specs. Yeah, that's all. So this is LFR signing out. If you like this video, you should subscribe, and this video is on behalf of the AnEvilSnowman. See you guys, bye.